Hello world. Well, good morning. I was thinking about some things that happened over the weekend and not ready to tell about everything that happened yet. But one thing that I do want to share is we can't always tell where we're heading. There's a path laid out in front of us. We can't always see the whole path. It's not always straight and with high visibility for many miles. If anyone listening to this has ever walked on a mountain trail, you'll have an idea of what I mean, where there are times when you're walking through a winding path and there are trees and bush and you just can't see much beyond what's right in front of you until the next turn. Or maybe you're lower down in a valley and you can't see because you're surrounded by the hills. Well, back when I was on my mission, I realized something that I've come to realize again and again. I've come to refine the analogy that I came up with back then. I had an experience where I met some kids and then later through them met another group, and then trying to meet the parents of these kids, I go up and I go into an apartment building to meet the parents, and they didn't want to talk to us. But on our way back down, the neighbor lady had her door open and she saw us and she called us in. Well, long story short, she had a dream. When she saw us, she recognized us as being the part of her dream, and in a short amount of time, she was baptized. And I realized that we didn't meet those kids to talk to their families. I do hope they had an opportunity as well. We met them to meet the others, to meet that lady. And I found that our life is like that. There's a lot of times where we can't tell where we're meant to be. We can't see yet around the bend. But our Heavenly Father, He knows where we're headed. He knows where we've been. And He can guide us. So sometimes it might seem like you head somewhere and then you get there and you're like, okay, great, I'm here. I'm going to keep going. It's like, wait, no. Take a turn. Take a left. I thought I was going to teach those kids' families. Nope. Sometimes we move to a new city thinking we're going there to work at a certain job or study a new thing, right? Whatever it is that our plan was for that place, for that time. He may have just helped us get along to where He wanted us to be, but it wasn't exactly what we were expecting. And that was always part of the plan. Just like Adam and Eve eating the fruit to leave the garden. That was part of the plan. How else were they going to come to earth and gain the experience they need? It's the knowledge of good and evil. That's what He wanted for them. That's what He wanted for us the whole time, to gain that knowledge. But anyway, back to my analogy. So I thought of it as, going around the bend, that sort of thing. Well, recently I realized something more. It's like the hiking example I asked about a minute ago, if you'd been hiking before. It's not just around the bends, but it's also up and down the valleys, the hills. If you climb a hill, you have a new vantage point. And there's a rough time getting to the top of that hill. It is harder climbing a hill. So it's not just that you can't see everything around you yet. You're climbing, and that's hard. As you climb the side of the first hill, It may feel hard, but then you get to the top, and now two things happen. At the top, you have greater visibility. You can see farther because you've made it to the top of this hill and there's nothing around you anymore blocking your vision. And you're no longer climbing. You get to have a season of rest, a season of enjoying that view. You get to enjoy the, hello light. You get to enjoy the flat terrain, relatively flat terrain at the top of that hill. And then from there, with this new vantage point and some time there to rest and recover and prepare for the next, you look off in the distance and see there's another mountain that you couldn't see before. There's another hill taller than the last, but you couldn't see it before while you're on the other side. So now you start your journey to the next step. You go down the other side of the hill you just climbed, which at first might feel like you're working backwards. You just climbed the top of the hill. Why would you go down? It's because now you see what comes next. As you're climbing down this side of that hill, you start heading up the top of the next one. After you walk through the valley for a while, find your way over, maybe you get lost a little bit along the way. You feel like you going in circles, but eventually you start making your way up, and it's the hard climb that tells you you're going in the right direction. It is the hard things we do that prove to us we are on the right trail. So keep doing the hard things. Keep doing them until they get easy, because you're getting stronger and you're getting to the top of your personal mountain, of your little hills. And when you get to the top, you'll see the next one. And that cycle repeats the rest of your life. You'll have seasons, like I talked about last video. And it works exactly in this pattern, where you have a season of climbing the one hill hard. It's a hard climb. You can't see everything you're doing until you get to the top. Now you can see farther than you ever have seen before, because this one's taller than the last. And you have a season of rest at the top of that, a season of enjoying that, and then the rest going down the hill, then the season of going up the next one, and it repeats. And that's what life is meant to be. That's how you progress. You keep finding and going up taller and taller hills, which would seem harder and harder every time, but because you're going up smaller hills first, you're getting stronger. You're learning how to navigate rough terrain. You're learning how to avoid pitfalls and sharp rocks and all those things that could hurt you. And so each time you go up a taller hill, it's not as hard as it would have been if you'd just gone straight up the tall hill in the first place. And that is the principle of line upon line and precept upon precept. God gives us little by little to prepare us for the next one. So, up, down, up higher, down, up higher, down, up higher, down. And that's how it goes. So, I invite you to think about things that you've been through in your life. Look for those patterns. Think about the ups and downs you've had. How have the hard things helped you grow? How have the hills and valleys of your life helped you learn, gain new knowledge, gain new visibility into the world around you, into your life, who you are and where you're going, and how the hard things have become easier, how they have been worthwhile. Think about that. Look into that. And think about the next hard thing. Is there a hill that you've been avoiding? You look at it and go, oh, that would be awesome, but it's just too hard. Well, get on it. And maybe there's a hill between you and there that you can climb to get you a little closer. But whatever it is, go do it. Go find it. Go find that hill. Conquer it. You can do this. Okay. See you in the next one.